Hello, friend. Just wanted to come in here real quick and talk about Jupiter in Leo. This actually happened officially yesterday. Jupiter went into Leo on June 30th, and it will be there until July 26th, 2027. So Jupiter travels through a sign for about a year. And before I get into Jupiter in Leo, I just want to touch briefly on Jupiter in Cancer, which was all about reevaluating our relationship to our family, home, and also our sense of nationality. So clearly we've had a lot of that going on this past year, that Jupiter in Cancer transit. Unfortunately, we've seen the shadow side of that in terms of intense nationalism or factionalism around the globe. So hopefully we'll see some of a shift out of that. But that probably won't happen till later in the year of 2026. But for the most part, Jupiter in Leo, I think, at least on a personal level, is going to be really good for people. Um, Jupiter is the planet of abundance, beauty. It's also the planet of faith, as Stephen Forrest discusses. And I like thinking about Jupiter in that way as well. And of course, Leo is about the self, the higher expression of the self, allowing the self to shine like the sun. Leo is ruled by the sun. So Jupiter in Leo will also impact your sun sign. So look at what house your sun sign is in, and that area can be impacted by it as well, in terms of some of the lessons you're learning and expanding upon. Um, what I like about Jupiter in Leo is that I think it's going to help us have the fire, to have fire behind our faith, to live and act from our faith, and to be on fire in our convictions. And that can be a good thing, but there could also be a shadow side of that as well on the collective level, and especially with neo-nationalism in the United States and around the globe. We may see some of that intensify before it gets better. In terms of people rising up against it and demanding that things be done in a more equitable manner. So those struggles will unfortunately probably continue for the next couple of years. But I think if we focus on Jupiter in Leo on an individual level and using that energy to bring our dreams and our visions to bring them into form, that the more people who are focused on doing good, being of service, bringing their own dreams, their creativity in the manifestation, that also shifts that collective energy. That the more of us that are driven and motivated by a sense of love and joy and creativity and compassion, that has a deeper impact on the collective. It can help shift things in terms of what we're seeing on a broader scale. So I am encouraging myself and others to use this Jupiter in Leo transit to have more faith in myself, to have faith in yourself, and to use that faith to fire you forward, to move with conviction, to be unstoppable in the faith in your vision for yourself and for your life. In effect, what's calling to you? What's calling to your soul? Use this fire energy to push the pedal to the metal and bringing those dreams to fruition, the visions, the desires. Um, we can use this fire energy to help us push past our fears or to push through them. Where are you on fire in your life? What do you want to bring forward? Where do you want to have that momentum, and what do you want that momentum to look like? Um, I think it's also important to be clear on your intentions as you're moving forward and really centering yourself in your own life, in your own vision. Make sure your intentions are still on some level for the good of all. The shadow side of this transit is that it could lead people to being too selfish, in a way that could cause harm. It can also intensify overly ambitious aims or the desire to conquer over others, which we will probably see in the collective, unfortunately. But I want to invite you to ask, where is your desire to conquer over others? Look to where you have those tendencies in certain areas of your own life, and look to a way to mitigate that, to redirect that energy back towards yourself and to the problems and solutions that you want to be focused on resolving in your own world, in your own life. But like I said, on the positive side, this fire energy, we can use it to help us expand more fully into ourselves, more fully into our own dreams and bigger visions. Let's use this amplifying energy to really bring those dreams to manifestation, to use that fire to light them up with joy, prosperity. Um, I encourage people to use this energy to pray for that momentum to lead to more ease and grace in your life. And one of the things I've also been thinking about too is I've been following a lot of the stuff that I think the channel is Home of Coherence, and it's a Matias Stefano, who I think of him as this like modern philosopher, uh, but he has some really mind blowing stuff about like the quantum field and where humanity is going and what our purpose on the planet is. And one of his videos, and I'll try to link it if I can find it, but I believe he was talking about, I think it was one of his videos actually on the World Cup and soccer. But in it, he talked about the quantum field and that how each of us is consciousness, like we are a quantifiable part of the field. Like I'd never heard anyone say it that way, but it really hit me, that like we are our own unique expression within the quantum field. And that's why it's so important to help ourselves and other people wake up, as they say. I think that's why so many of us have this desire to be healers and uh, energy workers, or one of the things that attracted us to astrology is that it is ultimately about expanding the consciousness and our spiritual growth. And so when we all do that, like when enough of us do that, it literally ripples out in the quantum field. And so my intuition is that Jupiter in Leo is going to expand that it's going to intensify all of our abilities to impact the quantum field, in a positive or negative way. So the more of us that are more have the intention of it being in a positive effect, from a space of pure love and gratitude, that is what ultimately shifts the collective energy for the greater good. So yeah, I'll try to link it down below. And even if it's the wrong video, I don't think I think I'm almost positive it was. I'm gonna find it. But yeah, but he's really incredible. And even if you don't agree with everything he says, he just gives you a lot to think about. And I always appreciate that. I like having my ideas and perspectives challenged. And so yeah, that's what I have for you all. I'll have my offerings linked down below. I am offering one-to-one sessions. I'm going to be coming out with a mentorship program as well on how to move from despair to joy. So feel free to email me that if you have questions about that. Um, it's something I've been wanting to do for a while, and I'm going to be using this Mercury retrograde to kind of flesh more of that stuff out. But yeah, so but if you're curious or want to find out more, just send me an email. Other than that, I have my one-to-one sessions, and just be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and always remember to honor the light within you.